that are required and
वीडियो बंद कर लीजिए नहीं ऊपर वॉइस नहीं है
in yes sir in one directly related with Department of Telecom. And today, आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
नहीं, बहुत इंटरप्टेड है तो नॉट क्लियर। वीडियो बंद किया आपने?
This is as the first platform, first workshop where 3 digital platforms we are covering, that is Tarang Sanchar, NTCT portal, and Central Equipment Register portal. And I welcome all the participants for taking participation in this and learning this session about these 3 platforms, digital platforms. And I once again welcome all the 3 esteemed speakers. Thank you, DG sir, for giving us guidance for starting their digital platforms through this mode. Concluding fast because as reported, my voice is not very clear. So thank you very much. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. And I hope that this session is going to be a very nice learning session. Thank you. Over to you, Siddharth. Over to you, Siddharth.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for giving the background that why and how we have started this series of web portals of DoT. Now I invite Sri Raju Sinha, sir, DG and Head of NTA Pret, to give inaugural address and announce this workshop open. Sir.
Thank you, Siddharth. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good morning, all my colleagues from DoT, senior officers from various units of DoT, including LSAs and DEC, DoT headquarters, officers at NTI Pret and other organizations. I extend my good morning to all my learned speakers in the session. I welcome Teotia Saab for today's workshop, along with Sri Goyal and Mr. Karmakar from DoT. We assembled this morning. As Atul has said, his voice was a little interrupted, but you know that there are 21 portals, including finance and technical, available from DoT, and Karmyogi has listed all these portals, categorized these portals towards competency area where one should know about it, try to use it and proliferate it. So we have selectively chosen for the part 1 as 3 portals. But why we assembled? Why do we need to use that? So in our mind, when one asks, what about a web portal? What it is all about? So a host of similar terms appears in our mind. Is it an enterprise portal? Is it a business portal? Is it a digital portal? There's a variety of terms can be confusing at first, but actually all these terms refer to the same thing. What are common about it? a unified gateway for employees, partners, customer, and other stakeholders to share information and achieve business or service task, whatever is assigned. Okay, I repeat, a unified gateway for employees, partners, customer, and stakeholders to share information and achieve business tasks. So typically, almost all web portals has features of firstly presentation, the rendering engine that delivers the user interface, federation, that is the ability to deploy a portal and portlets in a distributed way. Third and important part is integration, that is support for web service and service-oriented architecture, normally termed as SOA. Development, that the web portal should have an environment for developing web application in a consistent way regularly. And important one is the content, what it is having, that is the document, how it is, how the document is managed, and connection to the external content management system, commonly known as CMS. Important part is search, that through the web portal, a search function that ranges across the all other portals. And collaboration is very important tool for users to collaborate, including discussion, forums, group calendars. Some of the portals are having record facilities also. So these web portal features are more or less universal. So just think about a system prior to the web portal. But what was bad about running B2B or B2C business or services without a web portal? Prior to that, also IT application were existing, but just a few points on that, why we lead towards the web portal and web portal development. So can we think of doing service without a web portal? The web portal, the custom web portal has ability to solve a common set of business or service challenges. Okay, so in absence of this, users such as customer, service staff, stakeholders, in absence of web portal, spend more of their day accessing and updating information. Therefore, it is crucial to have a business system that allows fast access to accurate information. Otherwise, users will spend most of their time in frustration. And if we have customer-facing applications, then the same goes towards customer as they are getting more and more dissatisfied. So going little deeper, we find serious issue in extending services. That is too much switching between applications. If we don't have a portal system, then especially for customer service staff, we need to answer customer queries quickly, having to switch between application in a hindrance way. Another problem could be training new employee takes too long because every application has its own interface and terminology. Having many applications requires more training time. Another problem in absence of web portal we can think of is having too many users name and password to go to various applications. Lack of centralized security is also an issue. If we have number of applications available individually running, then a large number of varied web application makes enforcing security policies then much harder. And when IT wants to add or remove a user, they have to do it 20, even 20 to 200 times. And web portal gives a very, in absence of web portal, we really lack of consistent branding across applications. So when selling or interacting, when selling our services or providing services, we need to interact with the customer online. So it is important that they recognize us instantly. And that requires tailored branding for online applications. And these are mostly related to business and customer, but in-house IT challenges are enormous in absence of a portal, because they need to face a complex and expensive maintenance, known as application sprawl in in the web portal development area. This issue increases operation cost and IT management time. Another problem IT unit faces is the reinventing the wheel for every application. Once you have, in absence of web portal, once you have application, you need to build another application. You have to scratch from ab initio and reallocate all the users to use it. So all these limitations led to the development of web portal. So is in our department. And slowly, progressively, we have such 21 very well designed web portals available. So summing up the web portal benefits, one area is stakeholder, the customers, the marketplace, and another area is in-house IT professionals. So towards stakeholders and customer area, we save time by consolidating backend applications into one point of access. By that, we increase security by providing a single sign-on for all business applications through web portal. The web portal also promotes services to customers in a consistent way. With tailored branding, enable staff to quickly and safely share document and organize their work. Towards IT professional, once web portal is in place, their maintenance effort and operation costs get reduced. They are able to boost security with a central point of control and all backend applications. They accelerate development by removing duplication of common functionality and eliminate unregulated shadow ID system with IT managed alternatives. So with all these features in the background, we have our 21 good portals available on DoT, from where we have picked up important 3 months to deliberate upon. So more we will be interacting with the learned speaker in the section as to how they have consolidated features in respective portals. So I congratulate DDG ICT anti-hybrid Atul Sinha and his team to have put in all efforts to design and arrange the workshop. So dear participants, if you find it useful, tell others. And if some improvement is required, tell anti-hybrid to come in a better way. With this, I declare the workshop open and wish it every success. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inaugural address and opening the webinar. You clearly explained the nuances of web portal, including application and challenges, which have set the tone for further deliberation on the topics we have selected today. Dear participants and friends, now we are at the conclusion of the inaugural session. I heartily thank DG and Head of Anti-Hybrid Sri Raju Sinha sir for inaugurating this workshop. I also thank Sri Atul Sinha sir for joining us in inaugural session. Sir, now with permission of the chair of the session, we will start with the technical session. Okay, sir. Thank you. Dear participants, the first portal to be covered today is Tarang Sanchar portal, which has been developed in public-private partnership mode, a Department of Telecommunication initiative with industry. To deliberate on this, we have Shri Vikram Tewatia ji, DDG, CEO, COAI. To introduce the speaker, I will just share my screen. Yes. Sri Vikram Tevatia ji is the Deputy Director General of COI, India's leading industry association for telecom, broadband, and digital services. He interacts extensively with the ICT industry leadership and senior officials at DoT, MIT, TRAI, and other government offices for regulatory and policy matters. He is a member of the Joint Working Group on Cybersecurity chaired by Chief Cybersecurity Coordinator. He participates in many international workshops, conferences being conducted by ITU, APT, etc. He has earlier worked with Indian Army, Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, and Tata Teleservices Limited. With this brief introduction, I invite Sri Vikram Tevatia ji to start the presentation and share his screen. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Siddharth. It's an honor. So let me just figure out presentation. Okay. Are you able to view my presentation?
Sir, please share your screen.
Did it come on or not?
Not yet, sir.
1 second. 1 second. Okay. Which button? I clicked on share.
Share, then select, sir, select entire screen.
It says window content from camera, Tarang Sanchar.
No, sir, screen. Entire screen.
1 second, देख रहा हूँ कहाँ पे. Content only stand out side by side photo. We did practice this yesterday. Yeah? It
Yes.
Is showing screen.
Yes, sir.
Screen.
Screen. Yes, sir. Click on that. Yes.
Okay. उसमें आपकी फोटो आ रही है यार.
No issue, sir. When you will start your presentation, it will come.
Achha.
Now you start your presentation, sir. Whatever
Okay.
there is on your screen, that will come. Yes, sir.
Coming.
Now presentation is coming.
It is coming. Marvelous. Thank you very much, Siddharth, and thank you very much, Sinaji. It's really a proud moment and a privilege that you have requested us at COI to present to so many officers of the DoT. And, it's a very good initiative for the skill building of the DoT staff. And I was seeing almost close to 100 people from across the country, logged in for this. So my appreciation to all the people in the attendance. Without further ado, the Tarang Sanchar portal was launched by Honorable Minister Manoj Sinha ji in July of 2017, and we had pilots before that in 4 circles, right? So I'll take you through the facilities, but fundamentally, it is a sustainable, compliance tool, because EMF regulations, there was a lot of challenge, which I'll just cover. And now it has been made very convenient using this portal, right? So the portal is a set of web services for all stakeholders, which means the DoT, themselves, general public, the TSPs, for compliance on EMF requirements. Now, the challenge was that, today we are only maybe 4 TSPs, but there was a time when there were 14, 15. Excuse me. So the reporting on a shared tower implied everybody used to keep sharing Excel sheets with each other with their respective data. And, in what time frame somebody was submitting, it was quite a messed up situation. So the interministerial committee, which had reviewed the EMF requirements, had suggested making of a portal by the government. But since that had not happened, we from COI volunteered to make this portal along with the DoT, right? And the committee was set up, a joint committee with industry plus TEC officers at that time, and DoT officers and some term cell officers to build this portal. So for that, an exhaustive database of all has been made, and this is what we. Now, the concerns I've just mentioned was multiplicity of operators, timely sharing. There were a lot of public concerns. You would have heard of, the Juhi Chawla case. People still oppose the installation of towers, saying EMF causes medical hassles. And across term cells, there was no uniform method. So it required to be streamlined. So what was thought of that there should be a common database to hold pan-India site portfolio based on the data provided by the operators, and each operator had complete control of their own site information and technical parameters. Then there was a workflow to do the EMF compliance, which is done in three ways, which is a normal is through self certification, then is broadband, and then further is frequency selective tests. So this is prescribed as per the TEC test procedure, which was has been modified and reviewed time and again. The last one was 2021, and even now for 5G, it is still work is going on. In addition to installing of a site, there was a lot of requirement to provide data on site upgrades, which was a hell of a lot. This was particularly if there is one tower, if you see one tower, it's got 5 or 6 BTSs, which belong to different operators. Now, each BTS information on a shared site, which is defined as within 20 meters, had to be put together in the calculation engine. So this was a big challenge. And then once you do that, time and again, as you get, you change the antenna height, I'll come to it. DoT indicated 5 different, points on which broadband upgrades were to be submitted for compliance. Now, there was this portal has helped in significant reduction of efforts and costs, both for the term cell as well as for the industry, and also provides a platform which the public can access. Now, today the network looks like this. There are about 25,58,000 BTSs. This is all live data, and it is 24/7, 365. Okay, and the 2G portfolio is around 5 lakh. Obviously, this is going down. There some CDMA still exists. I presume it's predominantly BSNL. 3G, again, people are switching from 3G and repurposing that spectrum for 4G/5G. 4G is the dominant network base stations. 5G again has seen a rapid deployment. So while I'm showing you here in the table 140, but when I saw it 2 days back, it is 162, 1,62,000. A report is generated through Tarang Sanchar and submitted to DoT every Saturday. So which means about 23,000 5G base stations are being deployed per month. अब इसको आप if you divide it even by days, it's like 1,000 BTSs every day almost, which is really the fastest rollout anywhere in the world. Now, all these BTSs are located on 7,54,000 towers, right? And the map, if you see left, was a map we had to make when demonetization happened. And we had to report, how many 2G, what is the coverage, how many 3G, 4G, because the financial sector was saying, hey, government says do online financial transactions, but then the finance banks were saying network ka coverage nahi hai. So then we gave them, because they had to design for 2G, you had to design a USSD oriented transaction method. And for the 3G, 4G, it would have to be internet based. So this is the map that we had made when demo happened. This is the home screen of the Tarang Sanchar portal. Many of you may have seen it, but even as a recap. So essentially, it's got 3 buttons out here. One is locate the telecom tower in your area, a my location, which activates the GPS on your system, and a quick 2-page readout on the EMF overview. So this is where the public sees this. This is the public facing page of the Tarang Sanchar portal. Now, what are the facilities in the portal? If you look on the left, so in the menu bar, you'll get locate your tower in your area, EMF overview, site finder, then DoT initiatives and update, measurements by term cell, and EMF audits by public requests. And if the public wants to do a request for measurement, because many of you may be facing queries from the public and even from state government officials or other people. But this is a very convenient tool for you to offer to any interactions out there, right? So I'll take you through to how a site finder works. So what happens is once you do a site, click on the site finder button, right? It is mapped onto a Google map, and then you need to enter in a drop down window, you need to enter your name, your mobile number, and a captcha, based on which an OTP is sent through email, not through SMS. It is sent through email, and then you can log in. And once you have permission to log in, what happens is then you will select the location. For example, in this case, I see there is a site in Anjaya Nagar, Gachibowli, Hyderabad, right? So when you click, you will get these buttons which you see here, different types of buttons. And if you follow the arrows, the type of towers are displayed. So the blue one is a rooftop tower. If you see on the bottom of the screen, the green is a ground-based tower, and the pink is a wall-mounted tower, right? And if you click on any of the pin drops, you get this window which you see with the photograph on your screen. So this indicates there's BSNL, 2G, 3G, there's Voda Idea on 2G and 4G, and the address. And it says down below note 1 and 2, site is certified by all the tenant telcos, and Termcell conducts test measurements. And if you ask for some additional information, you click on the additional information button, and this is what you will get. You will get in your email, which you had registered with, a complete rundown. So if you see the screenshot of the email, address in this case is opposite the DoT, which is Dhawandeep Building, 6 Jantar Mantar. And this has got Airtel, which has got 2G and 4G at 900 and 1800, Voda at 9, 18, 21, 2G, 3G, 4G, and Idea at 9, 18, 2G, 3G. And in the EMF exposure status, it gives you when it was last certified, what was the EMF level, which is in the watts per meter, and what is the DoT prescribed in the serial number 5. And then in the last serial number is what is the latest, as a percentage, the radiation or EMF exposure, what is it as a percentage of the compliance limit? And down below on the screen, if you see, would you like a measurement? So the members of the public, if they want, because this is of the tower area, but if you want a measurement to be done in your house or in your office area or in a place of your choice, you can click. There is a facility down below where if you see the one down below, would you like to request for a measurement? On clicking that, it takes you to a registration request by the public. And there you have to give your name, your email ID, your mobile number, and then this comes at a cost of 4,000 rupees. So once the individual fills this up, then it takes you to fill the address where the test needs to be done by the Termcell, right? There are some mandatory fields in this so that there's no confusion about which location the Termcell officer has to go. Then what happens is that a request registration number is generated. In this case, if you see, I'll just tell you, it is Delhi's LSA 9th request. It is on. This is a unique number. So this is, we made designed this 20th of February 2017 at 12:46 time. So this is the unique number that is generated, and then the individual is taken and asked to proceed further by going to the Bharat Kosh for making the payment. Here the payment is to be made, right? And the payment methods like on Bharat Kosh is various banks and State Bank and all this, putting in your captcha. Okay. Here this says SBI ePay as well. Basically, this is the front end of the Bharat Kosh website. And what happens is once you make a payment, the payment transaction number is provided to the individual on the email that they get that they had registered with, and the request is sent to the concerned Termcell. And the indicator to the individual making the request is Termcell officer will contact them for fulfillment of the request. And there is on the email that RRN number which I had shown, this number on top, this dial 009, it is with a link. And in the email, you can track the status. So the status is the date it is registered, payment done, payment received, the requester contacted by Termcell, the requester contacted on date, measurement conducted, and then the report given, right? So the individual can keep tracking how this is working. And finally, once the term cell officers visit that location after coordinating with the requester for the time and place, a report is generated. So the term cell is expected to conduct at 4 points, and the location is given, and the measured value is then given with the compliance status. And all this is emailed to the individual. The results of the measurement here, the public can see, the EMF audits which are conducted either by the term, which is now up to 5% of all sites, not BTSs but sites, and you can year-wise select. So here, in case of Delhi, you can select which year, right? Similarly, the drop-down gives all the LSAs and the year-wise, and then this is what you will get to see. So this is, for example, serial number is Wazirpur Industrial Area, was conducted on 21st Feb by the Delhi LSA, measured value, DoT limit, and compliance status. Right. For a non-compliant status, then there is action which is taken by the term cell. Right. Now here is in case the public wants to see. So again, the public can see both the EMF audits by the term cell, and in this case by the individual people. Let's say, for example, if I'm living in Delhi and I live in whatever, select a place, say Lajpat Nagar or something, right? Or if I'm in Allahabad and I say where I live, I can see if anybody else in my vicinity has already done that test. Then you can save your $4,000 because a test you can see that, right? Now this is on public request. So the individual in this case is Swami Nagar, Outer Ring Road, Delhi. Another one. So since this is for Delhi only, similarly you can see it for any LSA. Now I thought because it was anti-Prit, I took this occasion to show Ghaziabad. So you see the number of towers that you see. What I was mentioning, the blue is rooftop and the green is ground-based. And on metro pillars and all, and in Bombay and all, and then central business districts, you'll get wall mounts. In this case, Airtel has got 2G, 4G, Voda has got 2G, 4G, Jio has got 4G, Subbalakshmi House and Sri Ram Pistons. Just, because NT-Prit is located there, I thought I'd just blow this up a bit. Now, many of you who are from the term cells would like to see what is the facility available to the term cell, right? Now, this is a dashboard of the term cell. Now here you will get to see all the submissions, the new submissions, the upgrades, the upgrade other tenant certificates, various types, and in what time frame. Today, yesterday, last 7 days, right? So this dashboard is available. And if you see down below, this has a status of all the telcos. So this is an old screenshot. I thought, to use this to show you the complexity that was there. Now we have only 4 DSPs, or maybe if you count MTNL 5 for Delhi and Mumbai. But there was a time when it was very complicated. And on the right side, you see the compliance result, which is submitted, right, after the measurement is done by the term cell. This window indicates, what the TSPs see, because the whole story starts by TSP logging in. So in the circles, they have a nodal officer, like was mentioned, password compliant and approved. The nodal officer is only the one who's authorized to make entries. Excuse me. And then this is the login page, and all the workflow is done for sharing tenancies, configuration data within the industries, access to reports, analytical tools, right? Now, in the TSP window, these are the details required. So you can either create a new site, or upgrade on a new site. The details, if you see on the left, are IP name, IP site ID, heights, building, geography, etc. Right? Now, here what I put out is once the data is ported and locked, the TSP user can download a temporary self-certificate, which will be finally submitted. This would be done in three methods, either calculation method, but if the EMF level is more than 50%, then you need to do a broadband method. And if it is still not compliant, you need to do a narrowband or frequency selective method, right? Here again, one second. Here now what you see is in the TSP window, one of the things was to submit for upgrade. So as per the 2030 compliance requirements, instead of reporting a whole lot of changes, you need to do only for these 5 cases, which is increase in TRX channels. Essentially, what contributes to the EMF exposure calculation. So these are the 5 items which would contribute to EMF exposure. So in case it's any one of these things which changes on a site, so this has to be reported as an upgrade, right? TRX channel antenna, electrical, mechanical height, azimuth, change in antenna height, right? Sorry. Overall approach of the portal was the site master database is created. All the tenancies are registered. RFP parameters are configured. Self-certificates in different methods, broadband are reported and mapped onto the database. A picture backup is created and the EIRP TH calculations are run for all sites. In addition, so that was as far as the compliance requirements, but the portal also has facilities for the public, which gives you learn DNT initiatives and an EMF update. So there is the journey for EMF. DoT has published on its website what are the various compliance requirements are. There is videos by doctors, there are videos by other experts, WHO, ICNIRP, measurements conducted by term cells. So there's a lot of data which all of you can use whenever you get queries on this. So it is a once repository for the term cell officers, the DoT officers, or the state, any people, any member wants to log in. In fact, the data is down to district level. And I keep encouraging, in the state broadband committee meetings, that national broadband mission meetings, you can actually go down term cell DDGs who are presenting or making the presentations because you have access to the site master database. You can present district by district in your state as to how many BTSs are there, how many sites are there, and what is the progress from end of quarter 1 to quarter 2 to quarter 3, based on whenever you have your meetings. Because one is ROW approvals, but in the end, the sweet taste is कि वो field में लगे कितने हैं. So this actually gives you a tool कि whatever you did उतने लगे ground पे field में so many BTSs over the last 3 months are actually installed, and whether the policies are good enough for facilitating or what pace the installations are. This is like normal, there is useful links. All term cells in case any member of the public wants to contact the term cells. And in conclusion, what I would say is it's a common collaborative platform for end-to-end for EMF exposure, which was quite a bother both for the term cells as well TSPs, and also to mitigate public concerns. Now, what telcos and LSA units believe this would, like I said, mitigate public concerns because in the end, complaints come or installation of a tower. There are challenges that we face since truck movement is only allowed at night in metro. Members of the public think that there is some, some chori chakari activity happening. कि भाई ये रात को ही क्यों tower लगाते हैं. So there are a variety of things. Now the data of this portal is very potent. Like I was mentioning, it's down to district level, be technology, site, IP1 ownership. So this is also being ported to the DoT dashboard, and you can see it there, as well as the Gati Shakti portal. And this, India actually, I presented this at ITU Study Group 5, also to Microsoft headquarters in Seattle. It is a global best practice for management of EMF regulations for shared sites, because shared sites is a challenge. Each telco is a competitor. So whether you should share your data or not. So in India, we managed to overcome that part. and it is good for shared data and compliance both for the regulator as well as for the telcos. So with that, I come to an end of the presentation. I'm happy to take questions now or later as and when the organizers indicate.
Thank you very much, sir, for a very nice presentation and elaborating about the Tarang Sanchar portal. I would request participant to have their question in the chat box, which we can take at the end of the session. So we will move ahead with the next session. Now I will invite Sri Dhanesh Goyal from TEC to take session on MTCT portal. Just a second, I will share the introduction slide and then we will move ahead.
Siddharth, I was just wondering because the still 5-10 minutes time are left in Tewatia Saab session. Can you take a few questions so that Tewatia Saab, whether he is available till the end of the session or not?
Yeah, sure. As indicated by sir, yes, few question we can take right now because we still have time. So whoever want to ask question, that can the person can raise hand. I will give the presentation right to them.
There are few questions in chat box. You can please read out for the Tewatia.
Sir.
Siddharth, I'm seeing some questions. So the first question is Atul Kumar Karelia. Yes, the presentation would be available. I've shared it with the NTPRIT, and I guess NTPRIT can collate all today's presentations and share with everyone. The other, again, Atul Kumar, EMF word used at various places replaced with some more public understandable word, maybe radiation. Typically, Atulji, what we do is we standardize EMF exposure is the term, because radiation is actually from a variety of sources. So with DoT and with the ITU guidelines, we use EMF exposure as a standard term. Next is Arvind. It says 5G sites are not mandatory for self-certification. These are exempt for 1 year. Under these circumstances, how can we ensure EMF compliance in public area? So, I don't know whether, we have the equipment with the term cell to measure in the current frequency bands, which is FR1 and FR2 for 5G. I'm given to understand some term cells do have, and because whatever deployments are happening are only in FR1, not in FR2, which is the millimeter wave band, for which IEC is still, I think 62232 is the standard, which is still under development, right? So that is what the status is, and TEC is working on, developing the test procedure. As of now, we don't have a test procedure for this type of compliance, right? And just for your understanding, we are we have a very low benchmark for EMF exposure, and one needs to go back to ICNIRP levels, right? So also the EMF exposure is not like khada aadmi ke upar exposure hua aur wo gir jayega, because the way it is that the ICNIRP, it is 230 watts, 50 times factor of safety, which raises temperature by 1 watt, and it really doesn't. Technology is very different as well as in 5G, because it's beam forming, and based on what kind of MIMO that's deployed, so what kind of exposure will happen when the beam locks onto a target. So it's a bit complicated as of now, but it is work in hand. Next question is Jay.
Let me read out the question for the benefit of all other participants. The next question is, when upgradation done at any site, shared operator get alarm from the portal or email, etc., sent to each operator, so that other sharing operator can also submit their self-certificate. How it will happen?
So actually the design of the portal is exactly this. So if I am TSP-A and I am creating a new site, right? So if there is nobody around in my 20 meter, which is the shared site ka information, and I think one more is about, if I'm not wrong, 60 meter, right? अगर मैं नई साइट लगा रहा हूं और मेरे आसपास कोई नहीं है, तो the moment I give the lat long for the new site, automatically it will check कि 20 मीटर के दायरे में, सर्कल में, या 60 मीटर के दायरे में कोई दूसरा ऑपरेटर है या नहीं है. In case there is somebody, he will get an automatic email giving the details of what the person who has uploaded the data and how the calculation for taking into account the other site within 20 meters or 60 meters. So that is fundamentally what we this portal does. Yes, there is there is an alert which goes, and the recipient has to give an okay within 7 days. Otherwise, it is taken as okay.
So another related with that, there's another question from Director Compliance Assam LSA. Adding to the above 5G question, most city sites are rapidly being upgraded to 5G. Very soon, all city sites, especially high tenancy sites, may fall out of the ambit of EMR testing.
We would be very happy with that, because the point is that India as a country, I'm sharing is, by lowering the limit, we've actually shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, because many countries like in Belgium, Poland, and all which were below ICNIRP have gone back to ICNIRP, right? So this is work in progress. There's a conversation happening at DoT, but yes. If it falls out, DoT has taken cognizance. That's why they've given this extension till next March, if I'm not wrong.
So next question, is from Mr. Jay. When upgradation done at any site, shared operator get alarm from the portal or email, etc., sent to each operator, so that other sharing operator can also submit their self-certificate. This is again repeated. Sorry.
Same.
Yeah.
20 मीटर में आ जाता है, कोई भी अगर 20 मीटर में आता है, new site or upgrade, automatically the other people who come into 20 meters are notified.
So I'm not seeing any hand raised. If any other question is there, I request participants to raise their hands or type their questions. Otherwise, we will conclude and take up the move on to the next session.
Well,
what? Hand raise?
No, sir. No hand raise yet.
All right.
Atulji, Atulji, what I would say is that the data set available here is a very powerful data set.
Okay.
And actually, LSAs need to exploit this data set, particularly with the national broadband mission targets and the state broadband committees. Because this is a authoritative monitoring कि यार जो target थी वो target achieve हुई कि नहीं हुई, and if it is not achieved, what is the tweaking in policy or otherwise that is required as a support from the regulatory side.
All right. So finally, one more question, Tirtha sir, if you don't mind, for small cells of 5G from Vivekanand Kumar. And the question is, for small cells of 5G, will it be the same self-certification by TSPs as per extant guidelines?
So the point is the test procedure for 5G, to include 5G as part of overall EMF exposure, TEC is working on it. But to my understanding, I don't think the format of the self-certificate will be any different, because the format already for a small cell, if you see, the name is small cell out here, in the publicly colloquial terms, but actually the official name on the DoT's compliance or TEC test procedure, it's called LPBTS, which is low power BTS. And the power limit of that BTS is specified as to what then comes into the ambit of a small cell. So below 2 watts is automatic compliance. Then after that, for different, as per the ITU-T, I'm forgetting K.51 or something, what we did even in 4G, because small cells is not just 5G, it was also in 4G, right? Sorry. In ITU, the ITU had worked upon a height and distance criteria. So height and power and distance criteria for the LPBTS. So this is already there in the existing TSTP कि आपका power कितना है हाइट कितनी है, उसके बेसिस पे कितना ईएमएफ एक्सपोजर का रिपोर्टिंग है. सो दिस इज टू माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट विल बी सिमिलर. द ओनली थिंग दैट विल चेंज इज द frequency band.
So next is not a question. I think it is a suggestion. In the Tarang Sanchar portal, there should be facility to withdraw rupees 4,000 cancel requests by subscribers. It is not there.
You know, honestly, it is not a Tarang Sanchar facility because this goes to Bharat Kosh. So, you know, and I don't know from Bharat Kosh it is submitted in which CCA. Does it, because your mapping kari thi, to that time in the beginning, because if a request is coming in, let's say Bihar LSA, so if somebody in Bihar LSA does a request, does it go to the Bihar CCA? So honestly, as COI, we do not have insight into that. I would recommend that if this is taken up, you know, with the DGT headquarter, who can take it up with the finance wing. To my understanding, yes, the facility should be there.
Okay. So this is a question, I mean, suggestion, and at this point is noted up. We will try to get back to you onto this. The next question is, does the toolkit for testing the EMF radiation supports 5G frequency like 3500 megahertz?
Which toolkit are you talking of? Is it the equipment used by the term cell? Ravinder?
Mr. Ravind Kumar?
You know, till he responds, here is what my understanding to this question possibly is. If he's like, you know, so the NARDA equipment, which if he's saying what toolkit to do the measurement, so the NARDA toolkit currently with the term cells has the module for testing in 35 band. But there will be a requirement to upgrade that for the millimeter wave band. 26 अभी deploy हुआ है नहीं, but TSPs don't have this facility yet. But term cells, I think there are many officers from LSAs who are attending. Some of them who have handled this equipment can possibly comment.
So basically, this Kerala LSA has answered that NARDA tester available in LSAs support up to 6 gigahertz. That was my understanding as well. I think we should be stopping here because now we are reaching the time of the other speaker. The last question, we will not take it further. Would like to know whether COI would fund projects for the IoT based EMF testing.
Honestly, Arvind, you know, IoT should not come into the ambit of you know, EMF testing. I mean, IoT में जगह अभी इतने बिजली के मीटर लग रहे हैं वहां पे कहाँ you know, मीटर के घूमते रहेंगे हम. You know, let's be a bit careful of what we are asking for.
So, Mr. Tewatia, I'm so thankful to you for such a wonderful presentation, and more than that, very patiently answering a lot of questions. I'm sure that the participants have enjoyed and learned something from your presentation, and that is why so many questions. The number of questions asked are direct, you know, have a direct bearing on the presentation. So I congratulate you, Mr. Tewatia, for such a nice presentation. Thank you very much for accepting our proposal, and thank you very much for sparing your time for that. Thank you, Mr. Tewatia.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you all.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
That over to you for taking us to the next session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sirs. Now we will move ahead, and as I was talking earlier, we will now take up the MTCT portal, which will be taken by Shri Dhanesh Goyal from TEC. He is okay. Yeah. Shri Dhanesh Goyal is currently working as Assistant Director General in Telecom Certification Division of TEC and is part of the team responsible for implementation of mandatory testing and certification of telecom equipment MTCT for the past 4 years. He has done his BTech from NIT Kurukshetra and MTech from NIT Delhi. Prior to joining ITS cadre, he has worked with Ericsson and Samsung and has industrial experience of 5 years. Over to you, Dhanesh. You can share your screen and start presenting.
Thank you, Siddharth. Am I audible?
Yes, Dhanesh,
Yes, you are audible, Dhanesh. Yes, you
Okay,
are audible.
I'll just share my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
So I'm here. Good afternoon, all. Myself, Dhanesh Goyal. As Siddharth has told, I'm working with MTCT division for the past 4 years. So I'll take the session for MTCT portal and the scheme. Let us first start with the MTCT scheme. MTCT stands for Mandatory Testing and Certification of the Telecom Equipment. So the scheme came into effect in 1st of October 2018 through a Gazette notification dated 5th September 2017. And the Gazette notification stated that any telecom equipment shall have to undergo mandatory testing and certification against technical requirements, which are called as ERs, as decided by the Telegraph Authority prior to its sale, import, and use in India. So this all telecom equipments are being covered in MTCT in phased manner, and as and when the phase is notified, the MTCT certification has to be done. So the testing under MTCT is done for the ER document, which is formulated through a consultative process, including industry, labs, and many other stakeholders. So the basic objectives, 5 objectives for MTCT certifications are these: that any telecom equipment shall not degrade the performance of the existing network. One of the major objectives is security of telecom network, which is being the requirements for which are being framed by the NCCS Bangalore with the name of ITSAR. Then the safety of end user.
Sorry, Dhanesh, sorry to interrupt you. Your screen is freezed at slide 1 only, I think.
Okay, just let me check.
You please share your entire screen. Yes, it is on. Now it is on 3rd slide.
Okay, I'll start again. So
Dhanesh, make it full screen. Make it full screen. This is not full screen.
It is full screen in my system, sir, as of now.
Okay, Dhanesh, but it is not. It is not here. It is showing not showing in slideshow mode here. You just try sharing again. Stop sharing. Try sharing again, and with entire screen mode.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes. Yes. Now go
Now
in
is it
full
visible?
screen. Yes. Yes. Now it's visible. Just click that hide button where
Okay.
at the bottom of the slide.
Fine.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. Now it's fine. Thank you.
So we're talking about the objectives of mandatory certifications. So third objective was safety of end user. This safety is the IT safety, which is the general equipment safety against electrical hazards and electrical safety. Fourth is the protection of users from the harmful radio frequency emissions, which we call as EMI/EMC, electromagnetic interference and electromagnetic compatibility. Then the compliance with the relevant technical regulations, which are the global regulations like IEEE standards, ITSI standards. So the salient features of the scheme is that certification is done for the primary model and its associate models are included in the certificate. Exemption, prior MTCT exemption is allowed for purpose of R&D, for demonstration, and if any sample is brought in for mandatory testing. For MTCT, the regular certificate which is issued for 10 years as of now. Initially, it was issued for 5 years, but with effect from 1st July 2022, we have increased the validity to 10 years. Test reports under this schemes are allowed from TEC designated labs. Designated labs are the labs which are designated by TEC through a process of lab designation in which site visits and assessments are done. In some cases, accredited labs of ILAB signatories, test reports are also accepted from them for some products for which labs are not yet designated by TEC. Broadly, there are two certification schemes under MTCT. First is SCS, Simplified Certification Scheme. Next is General Certification Schemes. In first scheme, test reports are not evaluated by TEC. And in the second scheme, extensive test report evaluation is done. Continued, the ER, which we talk of the technical regulations for which the testing is done, is made up of 5 types of parameters. First is safety parameter, then the EMI/EMC parameter, then the technical requirements, other requirements which may be SAR, IPv6, then the security requirements which are called as ITSARs. Currently, ITSAR has been notified for only 2 products, IP router and Wi-Fi CPE, with effect from 1st of July 2023. And the integration of MTCT and NCCS platform for security testing is under process. It will be completed by June end. This is the fee structure. We have 4 product categories, and the fees classified as in administrative fee and evaluation fee. Administrative fee is for portal handling charges, and evaluation fee is charged when evaluation is done by TEC. So let's talk about the implementation of MTCT scheme. Implementation of scheme has been done in 4 phases: first, second, third, and fourth. First phase primarily included 2-wire or telephone equipments, PABX, and cordless telephones. So basic products were included in phase 1, which was notified and mandated with effect from 1st of October 2019. Then in the second phase, PON products were included, and some basic multiplexers and SDH equipment were included, which was notified and mandated with effect from October 2020. Then in the third and fourth phase, a majority of products were notified, including networking products like LAN switches, routers, optical fibers, base stations, radio broadcast receivers, and signaling gateways. Every product for which ER has been made. Currently, we have issued 588 new certificates and 60 certificate modifications. Registered Indian OEMs on portal are as on date 105, and foreign OEMs are approximately 150. These are the basic phase 1 products. These 6 ERs were notified: 2-wire fax machine modem. Phase 2, PON products and transmission terminal equipment, which included SDH and multiplexing equipment. Phase 3, we notified 8 products, which are base stations, repeaters, Wi-Fi equipments, which are equipment operating in 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, tracking devices, IoT gateways. And in phase 4, the major chunk of products was that routers, LAN switches, microwave products, VHF, HF products, MRTS equipments, DWDMs, and mobile core equipments. As on date, we have designated 62 labs, out of which 16 are government and private labs are 46. Designated labs for EMI EMC are 32. Sorry. And for IT safety, we have designated 43 labs. So let's come to the agenda of the presentation, which was MTCT certification steps and portal. So portal and MTCT certification consists of basically these 8 to 9 steps, which the first step starts with the profile registration of the OEM, which can be Indian or foreign OEM. Indian OEM itself registers on the portal, and foreign OEM authorizes one representative in India to register on portal on its behalf. Then profile approval of that OEM is done by TEC, seeing the documents, which we'll discuss what documents TEC sees. Sorry. Then for next step is the product registration. After the profile is registered, applicant submits the product. In the product, the applicant starts with choosing the product and the variant, then the interfaces in the product and the bill of material file, which is also uploaded. We'll see that, it in the next slide. After that, the bill of material file, which is submitted by the applicant, is referred to TEC for approval, in which we see the product details are filled in correctly or not. And after approval of the same, payment can be done by the applicant. And once the payment is done, the application is registered on the portal. And on the registered application, applicant can submit the test reports for the testing done by the CABS or ILAC wherever it is applicable. Once the test reports are submitted, then for GCS case, the case is referred to the RTEX for evaluation. And for SCS case, it directly comes for a validation of the application. And after validation, the certificate is issued, which is uploaded on the customs portal and ICAT and applicant dashboard both. The portal is with the URL www.mtct.tec.gov.in, and it is hosted on NIC Cloud, and it's completely online from starting to end, and it's developed by the DoT. The features of the portal are the online registration of applicant, product registration, bill of file evaluation, then evaluation and validation of test reports, and final issuance of certificate. Some basic important features for the applicant level are these: registration can be done by the applicant, application status tracking can be done through the dashboard, online test report uploading can be done, certificate generation can be seen in the dashboard of the applicant, modification and renewal request can be done by applicant. There's the online help desk feature. Then profile can be updated by applicant, and a dialogue feature is between evaluator and validators, which can initiate dialogue with the applicant for any clarification. These are the features for the internal stakeholders of the portal, which includes reallocation of the evaluators in case of sudden leaves, RTEC reallocations for load balancing, online help desk for designated cabs, lab facility change requests by the cabs, creation of suspension of rules or bomb checking, then MTCT web manager and generation of management reports. This is the basic flow diagram of the account creation by the lab, by the applicant, in which he first of all creates user credentials on the portal by submitting his name and phone number. Then he uploads, if it's an Indian OEM, then he uploads the approval letter, which is the SPOC, basically the declaration of the SPOC, point of contact for MPCT. And then the company registration letter, which can be the ROC letter issued by the registrar of companies to the company. For authorized Indian representative, the same two documents are to be submitted. And once the AIR profile is approved by TEC, then foreign OEM, on behalf of foreign OEM, AIR has to submit two more documents. First is the memorandum of understanding, which is the agreement between foreign OEM and AIR, and the AIR authorization letter, which is the authorization of AIR by the foreign OEM. And these are the dated letters in which validity is mentioned for MOU and AIR authorization, and thus certificate validity is limited as per the dates, validity dates of MOU and AIR authorization letters. Parallel to this, we are also asking for the articles of association, memorandum of association, and latest shareholding from the Indian OEM and the AIR also, in case trusted source certificate is not available with the applicant. After this, the profile is submitted to the TEC and approval and rejections are done. Rejection is done with a remark so that applicant can resubmit again. Then this is the process of fresh application, in which the fresh application, after the profile approval, applicant can click on the fresh application on its dashboard, then select the product name and the variant, and he will see the ER applicable for the product. He can refer to the ER also. Then he can fill in he has to fill in these basic details like model numbers, model name, brand name, hardware and software version, description, manufacturing locations. This process has also been done online. Then he has to select the applicable interfaces, and he can combine up to 10 models. After that, he has to upload the bill of material file, in which he has to describe the equipment at functional block level, like power supply, interfaces, PCB, these details. And after that, he will submit the application to us, and the pre-check evaluation of BOM is done. And if it is approved, then applicant can pay the fee and register the application. These are the basic status on the portal through which the tracking can be done by the applicant for its application. The first status is the pending pre-eval check. This means the application has been submitted to TEC for BOM evaluation. Then pending draft application fee, which means BOM has been approved. Now applicant can pay the fee. Then app REG, which means the fee has been paid on the NTRP portal by the applicant. Now the fees can be paid through two modes: through online, which is done through the payment gateway, and through offline, which is done through the NAV, for which the UTR has to be updated by applicant on NTRP portal. And for this, after payment, the applicant can upload the test report and submit the application to TEC. And eval means the application has been submitted for evaluation. Now, evaluator may ask for some queries also to applicant through dialog box. Sorry. And for dialog box, applicant will see a small message box in front of its application ID, for which he can click and see the query. Then the next status is the penned val, in which he can see the that application has been evaluated and has been forwarded to the validator for the final validation. Then penned cert, which means the application has been validated and now it's pending for the issuance. These three status are there: panned location update, application reverted for changes, in which the application is reverted from certificate issuance to applicant for any updation in the manufacturing locations, for any bill of material update, or for any interface addition if it has been missed by the applicant. Then the certificate modification and renewal can be done by the applicant through its dashboard. The option is available in the issued certificate section. You can select the issued certificate and click on certificate modification and renewal. The applicant will get three types of modification. One is the administrative modification, in which he can reprint the certificate with updated profile details. Like in case he has changed the company name or the address, and he wants a new certificate on with those details, he can reprint that certificate, and for that admin fee is charged. Second is the technical or the product modification, in which he can add any associate model. He can change the hardware and software version which do not affect the ER conformance, or he can also add the manufacturing location. These are the admin changes and do not require any test reports. Then the test report requirement arises in interface addition or addition of subunit in chassis, or in certification against new ER, suppose if ER has been modified. Then third option is provisional to regular conversion. If a provisional certificate has been issued to applicant, he can apply for conversion to regular. And then certificate renewal option is also available, and this option is visible when 2 months are pending for the expiry of certificate. And in this admin fee is charged and there is no change in the ER in the product, then he can renew the certificate. For any modification and renewal, the certificate number would remain same and there is no change in the certificate number. This is the online help desk facility which is available with the applicant. Now I'll take you to the online portal and we'll see the dashboard. So this is one of the account we have created on MTCT portal. So let me first of all take you to the portal. This is the portal. This is the home page of the portal. mtct.tec.gov.in, in which we have basically 7 to 8 sections. First is the certified equipments. This list all the certificates that have been issued by TEC to the different OEMs. We can see that a list of total 679 entries. We have issued 679 certificates. You can also change the filter and take 100 certificates in a table, and you will get the pages accordingly. So, and you can also sort as per the issued date. Like yesterday, only 7 certificates have been issued. So in this table, the information which is given is the company name, the variant against which the product has been certified, any foreign OEM name. If Indian OEM has applied, this foreign OEM name would be blank. Then the product model name and number, the model number which has been certified. Then the type of certificate which has been issued, either is a regular certificate or a provisional certificate. Then the issue date and the validity date with certification ID. This is information is important as per LSA point of view, because they will require to verify the issued model number, certificate issued model number. Then we have the list of ERs, which ERs that ER has been made by TEC. This list, total number of 67 ERs that have been published by TEC on this portal. Out of these, 52 to 53 ERs have been notified in 4 phases. And the list of complete products which have been notified can be viewed by applicant on the home page in this phase-wise product list. He can click on phase-wise product list and he will see all the list of products with the ER name and the product variant with the date of mandatory certification. And he can see phase-wise whatever the products have been notified. Then list of ITSARs is also published on the portal. However, only 2 ITSARs have been notified as on date by the MTCT person. Then this is the annexures to ER document which has to be referred by the labs for testing, in which the parameters or sub clauses have been mentioned to which standard they need to be tested. Then one important section is the download section, which is list of circulars and instruction. Any applicant can refer to these instructions which are updated from time to time, and can download the notifications which have been issued by TEC with respect to any exemption issued or any criteria classifications or anything. Then this is important FAQ section which is published on the portal, and these FAQs are updated from time to time, and any industry or customs people can refer to these FAQs. Now this is the contact section in which the details of the persons are given, RTEX and the TEC division, and in the help we have our help desk email ID and contact number. Now the portal, this is the portal. Then on the portal, the starting point for any applicant is the login. He will click on login. Then he will start with the registration, register an account. Then he will register an account, giving the details like username, passwords, and email address and mobile number, and submit the request. OTP will be received at the email, and after submitting the OTP, account will be created. So I have created already an account, so I will log in with that account, and let's see what account looks like on portal. Just a second. So this is the dashboard of applicant which is seen. So in this left hand side, you will see the options available. In the profile section, we have 3 options: profile details, edit profile, and any profile change request that has been submitted. So the profile details are the details submitted by applicant. The name, mobile number, and email are submitted at the point of creation of account. Then these documents are to be uploaded by applicant, like approval letter and registration letter, which we talked of. And then if that we talk that if it is a trusted source, then these letters would not be required, like AOA and MOA. These would blank out. Otherwise, if it is not a trusted source, then these letters will be uploaded by the applicant. These are the basic profile details. At any point of time, if applicant wants to change the profile, he can edit profile, and he can change the authorized representative name, then upload the relevant document, any address detail change, any additional detail like trusted certificate which he wants to change, he can change. Now the starting point is this is the profile section. When a profile is approved, after that he can create fresh application. And the point is a mandatory certification you can select, then agree, and you can proceed next. Now here we will, this company name will be auto-filled as per submitted by applicant. The product will list all the ERs that have been notified. So you can select any ER, like I'll select, let's say router ER. And on that, the product variants will come now. So I can select, I'll say I have an MPLS router. I'll select the MPLS router. Then the ER in which these parameters are there. So the interfaces will be shown from that ER, and you can select whatever interfaces are available in its product, like 10G, 100G, 1G, optical. And he can submit these details like model number, model name, brand name, description. And he has to submit detail of the manufacturing location in which he is getting the product manufactured, wherein the details are captured like the model number, again, which is being manufactured, country of manufacturing, manufacturer's name and address, contact person at the plant, email ID, mobile, and the country of origin of the product, and the contract manufacturing, if it is yes or no. This is the template for submitting the manufacturing location details. He can refer it and download it and refer it. Like he has to submit these special characters are permitted, and these are the definitions. I'll not go into those details. After this, he can submit the application, and the application will be submitted for the pre-check evaluation to TEC. And after that, he can go to dashboard. In the dashboard, only those applications will be visible on which the applicant has to do some action, like which are pending for action by applicant. For other applications like which have been submitted to pre-check evaluator or TEC will be visible in the view applications. This is the basically history of applications in which all applications are visible. Then this is the certificate section in which the issued certificates will be visible. You can select any certificate and proceed for modification renewal. Actually, this is the live portal, so I cannot register any application because that will demand key from NTRP portal. So I am just showing you the details. Then the help desk section, wherein he can raise the query. And he can select the query type like variant type, interface related, ER related, profile related, and he can type in the query profile related, and he can submit the request to TC. Ticket number is given, and he can always see the ticket number. What is the status of the ticket number? Like track query status, he can submit the this. If any reply has been given by TC, the reply will be also remarks will be shown here. So this is from my side. If any questions are there, we can take up the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dhanesh, for this elaborate presentation. I can see there are some questions related with your session. I would request our participant to write their question in the chat box. We will take now the questions at the end of the session for both the sessions on MTCT and CEIR. Moving ahead, now I would request Sri Biren Karmakar ji from DoT, who is group leader in DoT, to take the session on CER portal. Let me share my screen first. Biren Karmakar ji is a group leader in DoT. He received his computer engineering degree from Jadavpur University, Kolkata in 1997 and joined DoT. In this organization, he has worked in different technologies, protocols, and products in last 23 years. His areas of expertise includes digital switching system for fixed line networks, interactive voice response system, home location register, short message service center for GSM communication, and he is also involved in development of national security project for electronic surveillance and data analytics of several communication networks. Currently, he is involved in developing CEIR, Central Equipment Identity Register portal for Pan India, which will be used for duplicate cloning detection, blocking and tracing of stolen or lost mobile devices. Thank you, Birenji, for joining the session. Just you can share your screen now. Birenji, you can share your screen. Birenji, you can share your screen. Sri Birenji has been disconnected due to technical reasons. He is joining again. So yes, Birenji, your screen is shared now.
Yeah, thank you. And sorry for the inconvenience due to some reason my screen was not shared. So I'm going to my presentation, and as the lunch timing is coming, so I will be fast in completing my presentation. So presentation is regarding the CR portal, which has been developed by DoT for DoT. And first, what is CR? When giving the brief of CR. So CR is a national audit system which store the IMEI, IMSI, and MSSDN of all the mobile devices used in the country for the purpose of reporting and blocking in the country. And another purpose is to find the cloning and restrict the cloning devices within the network. So these are the main purpose of CR system. And telecom service providers like EI, BSNL, Jio, MTL, Airtel are the stakeholder of the system. They provide the details of that IMEI, IMSI, and MSSDN into the system. And at the same time, CS provides blacklist, that is BL and BLO blacklist overriding list to the operators to make the devices blocked in their network. From CR, we get the tag code from GSMA. And for tag data, I am just giving details of IMEI. Like all know that IMEI is a unique device number, which uniquely identify a particular mobile number. And it contains 15-digit number. Out of the 15-digit initial, 8-digit are called tag. Tag means type allocation code. And it is assigned by GSMA globally, so that any tag assigned by GSMA is unique all over the world for a particular make and model. And the remaining 6-digit are the serial number of the particular tag. That means for a particular tag number, 1 million devices could be manufactured, and the last digit is called the check digit, which is generated from the remaining 14 digits to check whether the digits are properly entered or not. And CR portal is for the public and authorized users. Authorized users means this is DoT, that means competent authority, and the police, that is LER, also the authorized user of the system. General public can just give their mobile numbers to block. They can check whether the IMEI number is valid or not. And from the police perspective, they can give the numbers for blocking. And when the traceability will be generated from the system, it will help the police for recovery. At the same time, some different type of reports could be generated by the police or the competent authority. This is why the CR has been designed. Like it is integrated with GSMA to get the list of tag codes. We get the tag codes twice a day. That means whenever any new model is launched, automatically the data will be coming to our system, and the model will be allowed in the network. It is integrated with all the local EIR of all TSPs in India. So in India, there are 22 LSA. So all LSA EIRs are already integrated with this EIR. It maintains device registry of all the valid and active devices. What does it mean? When a device is used in our network, the details of that IMEI will be available to us. At the same time, when any device is imported to India, that data is also available to the system. At the same time, from 1st January 2023, it is mandated by DoT that all the devices manufactured within the country by the local manufacturers, a list will be provided to the CIR system. So the total device registry will be maintained by CIR. It includes stolen device reporting system through which subscribers can report their stolen or lost devices, which will be blocked in India. And the traceability, that means when someone try to insert SIM in the devices, the traceability will be generated. All the phone will not be working. There will be no signal at all. Still, that information regarding the SIM and TSP and which LSA, that information will be given to the police for recovery of the handset. It includes ICDR, that means Indian Counterfeited Device Restriction, for facilitate the import of mobile devices to India. It will check whether the device is valid, it is had valid IMEI number, whether it is not cloned and not duplicate. So these are checks are done in ICDR system. Traceability of the stolen devices are provided to the police or lawful agencies for further investigation and recovery. Cloning detection and SMS notification to clone subscribers. It provides blacklist and blacklist overriding list to the TSPs for blocking in their LSS. It provides device verification facility to government departments, lawful agencies, and general publics also through SMS, web portal, and mobile app. we have already launched Know Your Mobile, that is KYM. It is available in the form of mobile app in Android and iOS through appropriate websites. So you can get it from Play Store, Google Play. And it can be done through web portal also. In CI web portal, this option is there so that you can verify whether a device is valid or not even before buying it. When you are going to buy a mobile shop to buy mobile, outside the packet, IMEI number is printed and there is a barcode also. So from this app, we can scan the barcode and it will show the details of the IMEI, whether it is valid or not, whether it is blacklisted or stolen, reported stolen or not. And for the users having only not having smartphone, having a feature phone, they can also use this feature through SMS. From SMS, you have to type KYM, then space and the 14-digit IMEI number, 15-digit IMEI number, and send it to 14422 for checking the validity of the IMEI. This is the web portal of CIR. It is www.ceir.gov.in. This is the front end page of CIR. There is 3 options. One you can say in red, that is used for blocking the devices. Another is for green is for unblocking. When the device is received, it is recovered. So it could be unblocked by this option, and there is an option to check the request. And the request is just given in the portal. Request number will be generated, and through this request number, you can check what is the status of the request. This is the user status. You can check that till 25th of April, 4,37,800 phones has been blocked in India. And out of that, almost 60% devices has been traced. That means traceability report has been generated and it is being given to the police for further action for recovery or tracing the devices. And till now, 6,477 devices has been unblocked. That means that has been recovered and given to the user, and they are using it by unblocking in the system. This is a news clipping from Karnataka that they have recovered 2,500 handset in 2 weeks. The CS system has been started in Mumbai, Maharashtra first in September 2019, and in Delhi it was started in December 2019. And after that, it was started in Karnataka in the month of November 2022. And publicly, it was given to Karnataka public, that means through some newspaper or so, it was given in February only. So by March 10th, they have given a report that there is already recovered 2,500 phones. And recently, there was a program in Hubli, Karnataka, and they just called the persons to recover and hand over the stolen recovered handset to the persons. These are the authenticated users of the system. Like for the public, there is no need to log into the system. They can just come to the portal and report their stolen devices, and it is done by OTP verification of the mobile numbers. But these are for the authenticated users who can log in the system. They can take the reports and take more details. But that we have different hierarchy of the users. One is CR admin, who is the topmost user of the CR system. Next level is the competent authority. This is created based on the LSA. Like for 22 LSA, there will be 22 competent authority super. That means administrator of the competent authority of that circle. And competent authority super can create their normal level of users. That is called competent authority normal. And LSA user can create the police station wise users, TSP users. Like for police is working based on the states. So competent authority can create state-wise police super. That means the head of that particular police. Like for Delhi police super will be created by Delhi competent authority. At the same time, TSP users will also be created by competent authority. Like in Delhi, if there are 4 TSPs, then the 4 TSP super will be created, and TSP super can create their normal users. Similarly, police super, state police super can create district police super, and in turn, district police super can create police normal. That means police station wise users could be created by the district user. So it is expected that each police station will be having 1 or more users for CIR. This is the portal features like device blocking and unblocking interface. These are for the general users which are given these features without giving any login to the system. Blocking, blocking request and check the status. Know your mobile through app, web portal, and SMS. Frequently asked questions, web portal security certificate, and there is support for dual language, Hindi and English. Although we have a feature that through browser, it could be translated to any of the Indian languages. All ticket management and feedback would be given. These are the features for the authenticated users, like credential and captcha-based login. Privilege-based system, any privilege could be given to users. Privilege is not given, then the user will not be able to check that particular module. Audit trail and activity history, blocking, unblocking of the image, request to display interface, traceability reports, action taken on any blocking request. It is integrated with Delhi Police ZipNet, so that any reporting done in Delhi Police would automatically come to CIR. Even if the subscriber has not come to our portal and not reported by themselves, from Delhi Police, the report will automatically be coming to our portal and it will be blocked. Although there is a some you can say constraint or basically design feedback from Delhi Police, they want that the device should be blocked after 7 days. So Delhi Police want to trace or check the handset availability within 7 days. On 8th day, they will be sending the information to CR system and it will be blocked in the next day. And it is also integrated with CCTNS. Integration is completed, although it is not running due to some non-readiness from CCTNS side. And as you know, CCTNS is pan-India network of the police stations. So when any devices will be reported through CCTNS, it will be coming to CIR and it will be blocked automatically. So user even need not to come to the portal to blocking their devices. This is the page for blocking by the user. So user had to give the detail of the mobile number, like it could be dual SIM slot. So mobile number 1, mobile number 2, IMEI number 1 and 2. And system will verify the details of the mobile number and the IMEI number, whether the combination is already existing in the CS system or not. This is to just confirm that it is not, subscriber cannot block others' IMEI number. Like if I know anyone's IMEI number, I should not block the IMEI number. So it will be verified with the mobile number based on OTP. That means the phone is with the person who is registering the site, and the IMEI number is belonging to that mobile number. So this checking is being done. At the same time, we check the details of the FIR or lost report, like in which police station it has been reported, and accordingly the traceability report is sent to that particular police station. FIR copy is also attached in the website, and the details of the owner is also taken. This is the request for unblocking. When a user is unblocking, the request number which is being given at the time of blocking is to be provided, and the mobile number for getting the OTP and the captcha code. Finally, the device will be unblocked for users. Through this page, the user can check the status of the request. The request number is provided, and status will be shown to the user. This is the FAQ, frequently asked questions. So how it is to block and what is here, how to unblock, what is to be done to restart the fault. These type of things are there. And this is the login page for the authenticated users. They have to give username, password, and the captcha code. And this is the dashboard of the registered users. When it will be like this is the dashboard of the competent authority of the DoT users. It will be showing the total block listed image, how many unblocked, traced, total image, available total MC and MS agents. At the same time, different other reports like invalid templates, top used image, invalid templates. These are things are shown in the dashboard. As I've already informed that it is based on privilege, so any module could be given to any user. If it is not assigned to the user, that module will not be available to the user. And it is based on the drill down privileges, like you can give any module or any sub module particular command to the user. Like if you want to give only display, that could be given, edit option will not be given to the user. Similarly, any module this type of details are available. Activity history like audit trail. So whenever user is giving any command, that will be available to the user and to the administrator of that user who has treated the user. And the audit trail is given shown on in read-only mode only. There is an option to edit the audit trail. This is a police user blocking interface. Only difference is that police user can check the image, like when a mobile number will be given of the subscriber, they can check the IMEI which is being used with that mobile number. Based on that IMEI number and the model number, police can choose which IMEI was lost. That means this is useful in the case when the IMEI number is not used, not available to the user who has lost the phone. And another option is that difference that it is not verified by the OTP when it is blocked by the police or by the TSP. But when subscriber comes directly to the portal, the user is verified by the OTP. The same thing for getting the request status for the police also. Email listing based on the MSSDN. So it could be verified in the police form that if particular MSSDN, what is the IMEI used? Like in this case, it is showing that particular MSSDN, this handset has been used, so it could be selected. If there are multiple handsets, though, then it will be shown, and based on the user feedback, whichever the make and model, the device could be selected. Request display, the police user can check the request ID, request date, status based on IMEI, mobile number, and LSA or circle. And there are three different options by which it could be integrated with different police stations. Like through, it could be done through SDRS. SDRS means stolen device reporting system, that is part of CIR. So any police station can log into the CIR system and give the details of the answers to be blocked. It could be done through CCTNS, which is countrywide network for the police. And if any police station has their own system, which is not CCTNS or something, it's different, then that would also be integrated, like we have integrated with GPNet of Delhi Police. These are the request data when the request will be given by the user. These are the details of the request. And request details could be updated, like user can check based on the action pending, under process, or which has been recovered and given to the user. So these are different status available to the police. So based on that, the status and the details would be shown to the police user. Based on tag, details of the handset could be found out, like the tag number is given. It is showing that this is Apple iPhone 12. So it is a smartphone, brand, manufacturer, and OS are shown based on the tag code. Traceability details, when the traceability is received and it is shown to the policy users, it shows mainly the following details, like the IMEI number based on which it was reported, and the IMEI mobile number based on which the complaint was done, on which date it was reported, and which police station, lost date, and it shows the access information, like by which IMEI, which MSSDN or MC it was accessed, like which SIM has been inserted on the stolen devices, and what time, and the source. It is blacklist access log, or it could be template. It is from the circle, which circle, that is like it is showing Delhi circle, which TSP, which LSA, it is on there at the police station, from which police station it was reported. So these informations are available as a traceability report. There are options for filtering the traceability, like you can filter based on LSA, based on TSP, location, police station, district or particular police station also. You can check from particular IMEI and particular date, access date or the report date. So these options are there for checking the traceability reports. And this is another portal called ICDR, which is used for importing the devices to India. So if you see, almost 9 crore devices has been imported to India till it is launched in January 2020. So in 2 years, more than 9 crore devices has been imported. And the main stakeholders for ICDR are the importers, manufacturers, and customs has a major role in importing. When ME certificate is generated from the ICS system by the importer or the manufacturer who is importing the devices, it is shown to the customs. And when the customs clearance is required, when the device consignment is received by the customs port, the importer should come to the customs and show the ME certificate. And customs has the option to use their mobile app and check the consignment and check the image which is already received as a consignment and match with the data given in the, while importing. So if there is a mismatch, then the total consignment will be rejected. So these are the major two websites in CIR, which is used by the customers and the competent authority DoT and LES. So if there is any questions related to these two, so I'm ready for the questions.
Thank you, Viren Karmakarji, for your session on CER portal and describing all the features. This is the now I will share my screen, and I will take up the question which has been posted in chat section. Meanwhile, you can write your question again, and we can take up in the session. Let me read out. We will start with MTCT portal. The first question is from Vikram Malviya sir, DDG. Why MTCT testing is done for the OEM which are not trusted? Trusted OEM must be precondition for MTCT.
Good afternoon, Malviya sir. This is Dhanesh. Actually, sir, the mandate of NSCS and MTCT are a little different. NSCS is dealing with the telecommunication equipments which are procured by the TSPs and installed in their network, and they are dealing with the supply chain issues of them. And MTCT is more dealing with the technical conformance of those products. So if you see that what MTCT does, we also see the products which are being sold by the OEMs to the end users and the end retailers, and not only on the TSPs. So those OEMs may be different. This chunk of OEMs which are being catered by NSCS and our MTCT are different. MTCT caters to a large number of OEMs. And these are policy decisions also, and whenever the decisions would come, we surely think in this regard of integrating MTCT.
Thank you, Ganesh. I think there is the question on TTP and MTCT should be merged. So in continuation to that only, Vinod Kumar Sharma.
Siddharth, you need to come a little closer. Your voice is feeble.
Yes, sir. In continuation to the same question, I think the next question from Vinod Kumar Sharma is TTP and MTCT should be merged.
This is the same question actually, sir.
Okay. Please give some highlight of NIS if possible.
So NIS is the non-intrusive surveillance portal which has been developed as a proof of concept with the database of Bharat this ब्रॉडबैंड मिशन वाला पोर्टल जो है उसके जो डेटाबेस है उसका जो कौन सा डेटाबेस है वो उठा के प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट बनाया जिसमें MTCT पोर्टल जो सर्टिफाइड प्रोडक्ट्स थे एंड द model number which is registered in the NMS of that portal of PON, and these MTCT were checked whether those are certified or not. So this is a proof of concept, and further this can also be integrated with the NMS of other TSPs, or you can say any other service provider also.
The next question is whether all IoT devices and M2M devices come under MTCT.
Sir, IoT devices and M2M devices, the list of devices which comes under MTCT have been published on the MTCT portal also. But for IoT devices, we have IoT gateway which has been notified, and some IoT devices like smart electricity meter and tracking devices. Not all IoT and M2M sensors are yet covered under MTCT.
Okay, thank you, Dhanesh, for answering those questions. Now, the question is on CEIR portal from Vikram Tewatia sir. Why has traceability reduced? And Atul Karilia sir is also asking the question regarding traceability. Why traceability rate falling in October, December significantly? So Virenji, if you can answer that.
If we check, actually the image was taken on 7th of November. That's why it is not for the complete quarter. So this is one of the reason. And the second reason, because of which the traceability has reduced a bit. Like earlier, that traceability was up to 67%, but current traceability is 60%. One of the reasons is that we have stopped giving the traceability of the duplicate devices. Like earlier, if the device is already duplicated, traceability was being prepared and it was given to police. But sometimes it is shown that as the device is already duplicated, the traceability is not correct, because the system cannot find out whether device which is already duplicated is using the same or it is actually stolen device. So that's why currently we have stopped giving the traceability of the clone devices. So that's what is coming down to 60% from 67.
Okay, thank you, Birenji. Next question from Vikram Teotia sir is again, how many languages in the CE are available in? So I think it is dual.
Yeah, as
Hindi
in
and
that
English.
it is Hindi and English, but it is already compatible with the language of the browser, so it could be translated to any other languages.
Yeah. From JV Raja Reddy sir, DDG admin APLSA. In CER portal, brand has so many options and many looks to be junk, needs to be properly updated. Is FIR copy compulsory for blocking? Is it implemented on pan India basis? Is invoice mandatory?
Yeah, so I'm giving answer one by one. Like what you were saying, brand is junk. Actually, what happens, we select the brand names from the GSMA portal. Whatever data has been provided by GSMA, we are giving as a drop-down list. So there are different options. So we cannot exclude as it is from the official site. But there is option for searching. So user can type any letter characters like Samsung for SAM. If you can just type S, so details will be provided based on the manufacturers who is starting from S. So these options is already there to facilitate the users. Next question, FIR is mandatory, it is compulsory for blocking because as per Indian law as on date, if it is not, FIR is not lodged, that we cannot block. So it is there. And regarding the pan India implementation, so I think it will be made officially operational pan India from this telecommunication day on 17th May by MOC. But for trial basis, we have started from 15th of March. So any user from any part of the country can just use the portal for blocking their devices.
Is invoice mandatory, the last one?
No, it's not mandatory. If it is available, it could be given, but not mandatory.
Okay, thank you. From Director Security Bihar LSA, question is, while creating super user authority normal, what are the privileges to be assigned?
Like for different LSA, one is authority super, right? So it may be some DDG level or whatever, high level, but it may be possible that he has not getting time or maybe going some meetings or some other, so he's not able to manage the activities. So he can create lower level users so that daily activities could be maintained by that lower level users. That's why normal users will be created. And there is no limit of the normal users. So multiple different users could be created, and it is based on the privilege. Like you can give only display privilege to some users, you can give only blocking privilege to some user, you can give only traceability for a particular user, even you can give all the privileges available to the admin to another user. So it is based on the privilege.
Okay, thank you, Birenji. The next question is more of a suggestion. I think once the super user authority normal has been created, there should be facility for the user ID password information to be transmitted to the concerned party through email and SMS. Is it there or?
No, as on date, this option is not there, and it was discussed with DoT also, so it was not required. So info request, there's requirement has not been given to us. So as on date, it is passed manually.
Oh, okay, thank you. Can the complaints get a notification alert if the lost mobile is being used by some other person?
Yeah, when the traceability is received, so information is given to the police as well as the user who has requested for blocking. So notification is given, but the details is not provided to the users as it is not useful to the user. He cannot just catch the theft. So he has the given information that traceability has been received and this information has been given to your police station on where you have just lodged the complaint.
Okay. The last one, can LEA block suspected IMEIs as part of the criminal investigations through this portal, or this portal is only for blocking lost or stolen devices?
As on date, this portal which privilege has been given to police is for just lost or stolen devices for the subscribers. But whatever you are saying, the suspected image, or that means this is only image, not part of mobile number is there. So that could be blocked through competent authority by the DoT. So police can just prepare a letter and it could be given to the LSA users who can block based on the IMEI numbers only. That could be for single IMEI or maybe bulk IMEI. So this option is available with the DoT as on date. But as you know, from the system point of view, this is available to a particular user that it could be given to police users also based on the administrative decision.
Thank you, Birenji, for answering all those queries. There is one more query on MTCT portal, so I would request Dhanesh to answer. There are many equipments going to be included in MTCT on 1st of July 2023. Is any relaxation going to be announced? Dhanesh, if you are there. I think Dhanesh has been disconnected. Any more question? If anyone want to ask any more question, they can raise your hand. I will give the presentation rights to them so that they can unmute and ask the question.
Yes, sir. What was the question?
Yes, yes, Dhanesh. I would read out the question again. The question is, there are many equipments going to be included in MTCT on 1st of July 2023. Is any relaxation going to be announced?
Sir, that is currently it is not in place. Currently, relaxation is not in place.
Okay.
But it's a
Thank you.
policy. If something comes up, that will be duly notified.
Okay, thanks. Anyone want to ask any more question? I can see one more question in chat box. Whether any exercise is going to make Mac portal to trace electronic devices on Mac addresses basis?
Yeah, I think as of date, the CR portal is only for the IMEI numbers. For Mac, it is not there. But in the same fashion, this type of portal could be prepared by Government of India based on the requirement and the feasibility of this.
Thank you. I see no more question from participant side. We still have time. If anyone want to ask any question, they can raise hand or type in the chat. Dear friends and participant, if there are no more questions, we have come to the end of today's workshop. On behalf of NTI-PRID, I would like to thank our guest speakers for engaging us in insightful and enjoyable session on 3 important web portals of DoT. Thank you, our esteemed speakers, for sparing your time. Special thanks to DG sir, Sri Raju Sinha sir, who has been in constant support and guidance in organizing this workshop successfully. Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, thanks to all the participants from various units of DoT, TEC, and industry who registered and joined today's session. Thank you, sirs and dear participants. Now, with permission of the chair, Sri Raju Sinha sir, we may close the session. Sir.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you Atul, for all your efforts, and we'll keep doing another web portal. We'll take you finance also next time.
Sure.
Likewise, was portal.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thanks a lot for conducting it very nicely. Thank you. Thanks all the participants. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.